More content.
Oh, gosh. They have to give you a microphone if you want to say it. So meeting called to order at 7:11, you said? Yeah, that's. We have quorum, Joe, Kathy, Nick, and Karen Ann. How about if we breathe on each other, and I can catch your germs and you can catch mine?
Makes us stronger, right?
Mine are stronger?
I said it makes us all stronger, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. Okay, 2 weeks from yesterday, that's good.
No, I believe it. You don't
Well,
have to do this as much.
I just got this thing about we have to meet on January 17th is the start, and I have 2 different PTA ones. I keep going to the one with PT again.
Wouldn't you know it?
I don't, what is it? Present to speak?
Call the order.
Anybody call to order? We've established a quorum. Okay. Is anyone present to speak? I don't see any names
That's
here.
what I just went up to check. It's just
Okay.
I don't think I have the minutes from December 11th. I have the December 27th. Are there spare copies of that? I looked in my email as well,
I don't have.
so I should just recuse
Yes.
myself if we can't come up with that. But that's not.
December.
Did you send these? Because I looked up December minutes, I looked for emails from you. December minutes, I'll look it up again. So,
Well, I can't pull it up right now.
so they don't
The
exist.
minutes, we can't, we don't have a December 11th with us. We postpone till next time.
At least on those, right?
Yes.
Should we look for them in our email till another time, I guess?
Um,
Were they posted with the town?
That's what I was trying to check.
I mean, I don't want to get us in this same old, same old. But I don't see them anywhere in my email. That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
The next one is December 27th, is that the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, there is a change, date change.
Right, from the
Put 23rd.
amend that, yeah.
I no.
Karen, can you do one crack? You were next on my list.
Oh,
Okay.
so December, so,
December from the 23rd to the 27th. And there is a grammatical error in there.
Challenge.
I left it in there. Yes. But unless they change the grammar.
Let me see, you did not read it closely enough to notice.
Okay. We established a quorum, the December 11th minutes, nobody has, we don't postpone that. We're not sure. Really, I lose. Here we go.
So you don't have them, Joy?
Yeah, I have them.
Oh,
I gave them out and I saw the email that they were sent because this is how I copied them.
I looked up December
Yeah, they
minutes.
were sent, oh God, I don't have my tablet, so I can't
I
tell you.
hate when things get stuck.
But they were sent sometime.
I remember reading, but I do not.
Yeah, they were really long and I know
Do you
there's,
mind, let's do it next.
yeah, I know there's something here because I know there's board concerns.
Oh,
I
that
know
was the
Nick
one
said
thing.
something, but I couldn't read my chicken scratch, so I know you said something.
That's when I tried to.
Oh, I see
it in
had
my
your
notes now.
email until a while.
Yeah, I
because
had those
didn't
two
have
Karen
it.
questions.
Ann sent
Gotta
them
just
out.
get on the phone from.
How do we, so should we just wait till next
Okay,
month?
what was?
Yeah, we can wait.
I mean, I have them.
Yeah.
No questions.
Oh, you're in this one, the grammatical error?
Grammatical error.
I didn't find
Oh,
it.
let me see. And the 23rd, well, I know this is supposed to be 27th.
Yeah,
We
we
didn't
just-
meet on Christmas Eve.
Huh.
There might be typos too.
Meeting was called to order at 10:05.
Tell me
Kathy's
what it
gonna
is.
tell me if I was.
I don't know what I'm looking for.
This was this reason for the Joanne proposed a motion to designate the chairman.
One thing that I would simply add to this is to,
As the person responsible for signing all contracts accepted by the president. The person duly sign the contract, which is to be submitted to the town of London. I do not see a typo.
I don't either, but I do see something missing.
Well, probably a lot, yes.
I wasn't.
How did I write it? There was
On
something.
the phone.
Yeah, but she was also driving through this.
Oh.
That's right, and all over the place. Luckily, we went that week because of what's going on this week. Okay, so December 11th meetings are gonna be next meeting to accept.
The sentence made a motion to accept it. You can tell me if this is right or not. Joy Rowan seconded the motion. It passed unanimously. Now, is that okay, or should it say the board members passed?
I don't have a problem with passive
No.
voice.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's not,
it's unanimous.
okay, we can use passive here.
Yes.
Okay, well, when I was doing my thesis and stuff, we could not have any passive voice. They threw it out. And
Well,
so,
I mean, if you really feel it, you
No,
could-
because you can say motion passed.
I don't
That's
know,
fine.
but anyways,
most students
I
have
just,
to
I
write
just
everything in
wondered,
passive voice.
I just wondered, so I put
Well,
that-
if you want to
next time I'll
recast
have
it.
to do even a bigger blooper for her to catch.
But here's what what I did catch is that, and I still feel very much that this is something we should, I still have lost my voice too. That we should not just have designated the board chair for all signing of contracts, but to make that an official bylaw in future language. I think it was
well,
bigger
I
than
think
a
we
motion,
should. I
Yeah.
think
right,
we
so,
should.
but I wanted to say you should capture that in the minutes.
Oh,
I would like that on record.
okay,
Okay, was that at this meeting?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
so, okay, and,
What is it? So this is December 23rd, you're talking?
Well, it's actually the 27th,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
but yes, those
So
ones.
what portion?
the motion, I made a motion that we designated the chair as the person responsible for signing all contracts that were accepted by the board. It should be a little clearer. And it should say, this needs to be included in the bylaws.
Or
Okay,
this will be.
Right, I made a motion that this
Yes.
becomes more
And that was
official.
you?
Yes,
Kathy?
I think we seconded it.
I'm fine with it. This will be.
Was that part of the actual motion though, or?
it was during discussion.
Yeah, it was during the discussion.
Okay, so
She did.
Discussion.
Yeah, that, the motion was simply that, and that was the motion that passed.
Was there any caveat as far as dollar amount, or is it just straight up? It doesn't matter the dollar amount.
We didn't add quantities or.
Just made contract.
So give you $100,000.
So in order for Donna to deal with it, she needs one person.
Sure.
One person is gonna sign the contract. We could get Bill the janitor if we wanted to, but no, it really has to be a board person.
But it doesn't matter the dollar.
No,
Unless you want to,
We could put.
I wasn't there, I have concern about
Yeah.
that, but I mean, I'm gonna
Can we put?
be
well,
absolutely
see, the
control.
contract's passed by the board. So nobody can just give her a contract.
That's right.
And it's
Gotta
got
go
to
through us
sign,
first.
it has to go through the board.
And it only goes through the board when it's large amounts of money.
Yeah,
Yeah, and,
Okay,
That's
yeah, I
true,
see
too.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
that's
don't
true.
see many contracts coming up
Nope,
that, would be,
it says accepted by the board, so.
yeah.
okay, so because now we're on director's report.
Were you guys gonna accept those?
Oh, yeah.
I will point out that the reason I tried to go get the hotspot is the minutes for December 11th were mailed out on December 17th. So.
Yeah, no, I
So
saw
I
them.
made sure I
I just
gave them to
didn't-
you before I left.
Yes, you did.
I
It's
remember
just-
getting them, I just,
It's funny because I
Probably
searched
not.
December minutes and they didn't.
No, they're under something different.
They're under something
Yeah, they don't
different
come
and
under
they didn't
December
come from
minutes.
you, so my computer was just like,
See, I just looked up minutes and looked for the date. It turns out on the PDF it says 11/11, not 12/1.
right. Well, anyway, we can look at them and review them for next time, right?
Okay.
So director's report.
Well, do we have to accept these minutes with the corrections?
Yes.
Or-
Yes.
Yeah.
27th.
Except for as amended.
So are you making a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for December 27th.
The amended minutes or the?
Yeah, amended minutes with corrections.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Kathy seconds. Okay, and we just got more discussion on the minutes? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Abstentions? Take your stand.
Oh, wait, I should abstain also, I wasn't there, I'm sorry, my bad. So I shouldn't make a motion.
What do you mean you
Should
weren't
I?
there?
I thought you were on the phone.
Oh, yeah, I was on vacation.
You were there, you were on the phone.
That whole week is a blur.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
You
so
were there.
you, Nick?
Did you abstain again?
Yes. he
I
was
wasn't there.
There.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you were just looking for a person.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
so
submit
director's report. Deb said Novus, Tab, and CN, the Wi-Fi people, are all coming in Friday together to work on the internet here.
Cool.
Friday, she's upstairs with the friends. And, something I just stepped up, she also made an appointment for next Monday morning at 11 a.m. to meet with Carl, the town engineer again, because CIP is looking for a new RFP for the exterior of the building. Now, the ARPA stuff was the wall and patching that stuck up, but we've got to have the rest of the masonry looked at. We've got to have window sills scraped and repainted. So we need the engineer to come out and look and tell us and put out another RFP. Yes, sure.
Number one was that the phones are going to be done.
Friday.
Phones and internet.
Together, come
So they're all coming together.
So that's the phone people, the internet people,
And
software people, right?
who's CEO was the last one.
Get
She
all of
said
that.
was well,
So this means that they're all going to be coordinated and working together. Okay.
In theory.
keep our fingers crossed.
In
Now
theory.
stepping on
Wow.
other people's feet.
Come on.
Okay. We don't want to say the whole thing together. Okay, now the second, I think my process is even slower than usual.
11 o'clock
That
a.m. Monday
is-
appointment.
Okay,
11 a.m. on Monday morning.
Monday morning. We should be there.
I'm planning on being
Yeah, I think as many board members as can be there. Oh, come on.
there. She's in schools already.
I know, but you can take it there. You need a good meal. You go, we see him, we go out for lunch,
I don't get time off. You know that.
I hear you, Kathy.
Okay, so anyways, Monday,
Thank you for going.
whatever date that is,
The 13th. 11 a.m. It looks,
okay,
This is for the exterior of the building.
so windows, paint, window frame.
Window frames, paintings, and any work that needs to be done on masonry. If it needs to be recaulked any place, if it needs to be resealed any place. And Joan wants to add, having them look at the roof to see if it needs to be sprayed. Which I haven't looked at it, but she said that the shakes on the south side are drying out and curling and there's.
that's not the roof.
The shakes are on the fascia.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, okay, because I'm thinking, wait a minute, the roof.
And then they're the,
You said Monday at 11?
head on.
So not the roof, the side. I've been thinking all along about the roof.
But where are we with gutters? Whatever happened with? Is that something Carl would be looking at also?
He could look at it.
Yes.
The idea was that there was going to be extra money in ARPA, and the ARPA was going to look at coming back out here and looking at gutters, and that was 3 or 4 months ago.
I don't want to say a word, I don't think we need those gutters, I think we need.
Oh, really? Based on what? based on flavor.
It's been 17 years, and there's really no damage not having the gutters. There really isn't.
Yeah,
I
but
thought it was an urgent thing.
But we need the gutters on the front
Yeah.
because of the fact that they overflow.
Right,
But then when CIP came in, they decided we should have gutters everywhere.
so it got bigger, but then you think it's actually not an issue at the moment,
Well,
less
I'm
priority.
not gonna pull it out.
Okay.
Because when we hear from Carl, if he says that we really need to have those shades. Now, if you look at this side of the building and look at the piece there, whatever you call that, and you go to that side, the north side, look at the difference. That side looks almost pristine, looks like it just needs an oil. This side over here, they're so dry that
The weather.
in a year or two, we're gonna have to have it replaced. That's prohibitive. Those are cedar shakes up there. You know, so that's not easy. So, I think we should be here. And Steve should be here to deal with this.
Steve starts work on
Because-
Saturday, he should be.
Oh my
there.
goodness.
We have
Yay.
We need to have Steve begin to pursue some of the things that he has been Yeah, so, yeah, that correlates with the email. Okay, so to inspect the building and let's put it that way.
And see, I kept telling Deb the envelope, but she thought the envelope was the stucco on the bottom of the building.
And the envelope is going
That's what I tried to tell her. Because there is one picture where the stucco is put back here, that they put into the envelope. It's like, no, I need like the whole outside, which includes the windows and
yes.
the masonry and all that kind of stuff. So, and I will tell you, when I did the 5-year plan for CIP, that was put down for 80,000. So if we can come in under that, we'd be good.
Well, I think at this point, having Carl look at everything and then let him help us with the prioritize. You know, what has to be done first and what can last, etc. Because we have to figure all this out.
Okay, I don't know if they can say, that was the
Okay.
Okay. Treasurer's report?
I did actually get this printed out.
I'm just looking at the orders.
I know that Nick, you had requested us as adding something to come up with a maintenance plan for pump chambers, so we did. I'd like to
Oh.
pass that in. It's basically, now that we've got everything fixed and correct.
Keep it that way. That's what you're telling us.
Well, technically pumping every year, and then we go in the spring, and then when we come back in the fall to check everything out, we'll determine like the usage of the tank, and if we need to be pumped, we pump again, and that's basically it. That's what the maintenance is for.
Okay. That sounds good.
And this is still not a conflict of interest. We're on this with-
As long as she's not voting on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not voting
Okay.
it, I'm not treasurer. Which, unfortunately, Nick, nothing against you, I will never be treasurer, I'm not good with math.
So I'll try to make a treasurer's report as quick as we can, but also go through it. So beginning balance, we had $175,071.52. We had no December revenues. I thought that was interesting. I talked to Donna today on the phone about this, and
There were deposits made.
Yep.
And I put money that those slips were not sent up to them.
So I talked to her, she said that they're short-staffed over there,
Yes.
and that they're behind on some of the inputting of data. So I'm not sure if it's with them or where it's at. I'll follow up more with them, maybe Steve.
Well, a lot of that is Tish's job. She's,
Yeah, Tish is out, I don't know, you know,
for an unknown period of time.
that's what, so revenues, we didn't have any, technically to record for the month. There may be, I'm guessing there's gonna be interest that we have. So I'll find that out for the next meeting. So as far as expenses, we did have some expenses that were higher than we normally see. Total expenses of $27,699.48. Some of the area, so ending balance of $147,372.04. Now, going through some of the, line items and looking at previous month to November to December. We had, I think it was electricity. Usually we kind of skip every other month on electricity in a way.
Is this what we're looking at now, the rolling? budget?
No, this is
Oh,
a
just
different
general
sheet. Yep.
comments. Okay,
This is off of the data that's sent to me from
okay.
the town hall. So, electricity, we had a charge of 2,500. Usually it skips or so, like last 2 months we went 1527, 1206, and then this month we went 2501. So I'm not sure what happened there, but that was of notice. We had the building repair of $8,072.79. And I think that's related to.
That's what I was just gonna ask, is that where to the
One thing, where was it? I saw something on the salaries. Salaries, we did see a decrease in assistant director pay, about 1,700, maybe some time off and such like that. So those are the items to point out. I did send over a spreadsheet just kind of breaking down month to month, a rolling budget kind of. Right now, if you look at what we made, the income, because we have nothing to report, we're $1,936.22 less than what we were last year at this point. However, our expenses are make up for that. So our expenses we're down $3,374.84. So we're actually better than last year by $1,438.62. Caveat is we probably have December income to report later on. So that number should be higher. As we get into the budget, we'll go over some other numbers.
The electric bills, there is all kinds of stuff that goes with it that is over at the town hall. I don't zero the whole thing. So if you have questions, they can pull that actual bill out.
Okay. Have you been managing the expenses and all that? Or?
No, I don't do anything with that. I just get the bills ready.
Okay.
What is the heating system?
Should be the propane.
Because if it gets cold, Deb's office, the stairwell is freezing. I don't know how much electricity they use because it's cold in the building.
I don't.
Oh, those will crank heat too. I mean, that would be an electric bill for sure.
I don't know if we used any of the last month.
Is our heating system in need of maintenance or something? Like, why is it?
Well, maybe it was, no, it wouldn't have been running because that would have been something on.
Why is it
would be something.
if we have propane?
I think that is one of the systems that we have to have checked. All the systems have to be done.
I think it's doubling of a monthly.
I mean, if the septic pumps were running, that would have a short draw on it, but not enough to.
It wouldn't double
it.
it. To me, I think it might be just, there's 2 months of billing maybe trapped in there somehow, because they're typically about $1,200-1,300 a month. And at 2,500, that's right there in doubling $1,250.
Okay,
So
I guess we wait to
that's
see
what I'm thinking, maybe I'll find
Wait
out.
to see what the
Yeah, I
next
have,
next is.
I have copies of the front page.
Mhm.
That's all.
So who maintains our heating system? Would it be the propane company themselves? Or they just supply the fuel?
They just supply the fuel. We had an HVAC.
Or the HVAC company? Okay,
Okay, yeah.
okay, okay.
They're the heating.
Have they ever, I wonder if they've ever gone through and done a real inspection? You know, 17 years
They
into
were supposed to,
this,
they were doing last year when they had to fix so much stuff.
You think?
I don't necessarily see a problem with the propane situation, it's the electricity.
No, it's not using propane, it's the something that's trying to take care of heat.
Yeah, now,
That's what I'm asking. I don't know where the problem lies, but
are the ventilations just not working in there, or the zone? Because there, probably every room is zoned, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's an HVAC situation.
I have no idea what the total letter, but I know I went up to Tim's office to drop some stuff off.
Yeah.
And there's just things
oof,
and they're not, that's not a wide open space either.
that's strange. Well,
It's a good 10 to
the thing
15
we have
years
to
old.
do is,
Where is
is
it?
when she comes on board, ask him to meet with the HVAC people and set up a time for them to come and inspect the whole system. Buildings, well,
I told her that's someplace.
What's that, make a note of what?
stuff that Dawson.
Oh, to talk to Steve about having maintenance check it out.
Budget is next. Okay,
So I know,
where are the budgets?
yeah, so I know there's been discussion with Deb in the past, this is their responsibility basically to present to us, and we don't create the budget, and I get it, I respect that. I've ran numbers different, looking at grand list increase, revenue increase from the town, what we've averaged, and kind of put those numbers, I kind of took 3 different looks at it. Ultimately, it is a discussion that the director or assistant director should be part of. I don't know if you want to try to grab her. I can run up there if you want to. Yeah.
Well, when we had left it, I don't remember, it wasn't a formal motion. It was the idea that I remember, the idea that Nick was going to get together with Debbie and in this meeting, present us with a basic budget. So I don't know if they've gotten together or not. We're saved back in the same damn place we were last year.
Can Steve address this immediately? Does he know the urgency? So we should make a note to Steve about that as priority item, right? Anyway.
And it's like Thursday, right? He's presenting the first Tuesday in February.
So what's the other meeting tonight then? That's why they have nobody in the waiting room for all the other meetings. Joe, what's the other meeting tonight? There's another big town meeting. I think most people are at.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Boy, I am just not up on anything.
I think it's people griping about their property valuation, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah. My husband
Well,
said,
you
just
know, we
guess
have-
what it is. It's like,
Is it, no, February first week, I think it is. The first report is coming out with the economic opportunity study that we just had done in town. And
Who does that study?
they hired a guy named Ernie Weinberg. Weinberg, I guess his name is, his name. And he is, this is his profession, he's a professional counselor for towns that want to develop. And they were looking at, and we had a thing downstairs here where he had 8 different areas that you could develop in the town. You know, one of them is like tourism, another one is small business.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
Right.
He had that up there. And he narrowed it down to 3 that he thought were the best for the town. I don't know what 3 they were.
That's interesting.
I couldn't hear that in the meeting. So I've been going to email him and ask him. what
I'm
3
curious, that's actually intriguing.
Can I have you keep this for that?
But it's going to cost money.
So she's coming down,
Costs money to get
she's gonna hurt back. So,
I think she's looking for this.
yeah.
Well, to attract businesses, it won't necessarily be highly expensive, but the town is gonna.
Well, you have to go out and solicit for them.
True.
You have to sell your town. But then you've got to make sure the town will sell it. I mean, very seriously,
Bit of a
that
circular.
when we, oh yeah, you gotta spend money to make it.
Yeah, it's what I just like, yeah. Well, it's got some promise to it, but
If your town doesn't look good, then would any business really want to be there?
it's on highway access.
Take a look at going into Aspen. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, it'll be interesting to see what come up.
Absolutely.
What we have, because we small business here. On one hand, we want businesses to come to Wilmington, but on the other hand, they're proposing all these regulations. Any business that comes into Wilmington, you can have business here. So it's like,
Now,
I mean, look what
who
they're
puts
doing.
the regulations?
the board,
The,
whoever's accountable.
Yeah.
What's the zoning board?
Yeah,
the zone, okay, it's zoning, I don't know, it's zoning or selectmen or who,
no,
I don't understand.
no, because you can go to Peter Knock and he says, his no. Okay.
I don't know if you want to just at least start in the meantime discussion,
Yes.
because I'd like to go through each line item, as tedious it is, and just,
Okay.
No, we always do in general.
I don't want to do that. I don't have copies of what you have.
I have what I,
You want
I
to
was-
share?
I
Is
was
this
gonna
it?
say,
You wanna look at it?
yes.
Because there's two.
Yeah.
That's-
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, I
This
was
is
gonna
correct.
ask
I printed everything
on
out
the
to you.
treasurer's report.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
I was gonna
This is
send
good. Okay.
a clip of that, yes. Okay, first thing we need to do is, as of the 1st of January, the state upped the minimum for a wage that's considered salary with no overtime, and that is 58,656. So that is our new.
So the director-
58,656.
But this is 23, 22, 23.
I sent a new one. That was from Donna.
Oh,
Oh, wait.
Oh,
wait,
this-
wait, wait.
got it, so this would, that's where that would go.
Did I put like some
What you're saying.
pages here?
Oh, right,
I
yeah.
did. I got this myself, my computer printed out the pages. Right, sorry.
So that number's gonna be hard, pretty much no matter what.
Right, and I looked, I calculated, and that's 1.6% increase over what we asked for last year. It's not off of that, but that is Steve's income salary. that is off of that.
I'm sorry, you had a 1.6 increase?
You get it, it's-
So I'm basing it off of
This is my calculation. This is my calculation.
57.75, yeah, so that is 1.56%.
Yeah, I found it.
Okay, okay, I got you, my bad, yeah.
Yeah, that just was me.
So that number is gonna be hard number anyway, so.
Right, yeah.
As far as assistant director, where were we on that agreed upon number? Didn't we have, we offered a dollar amount to, Deb?
We never can get the contract because he's Steve's responsibility. We did a contract last year to see how it goes.
That's But that's okay. So, assistant director,
So right now, we,
oh God, that goes back.
so just without saying an increase right now, we're just plugging away at 45,689 right now.
Question, is the minimum wage now
Yes.
to what?
Oh, I didn't have that from
But that wouldn't necessarily matter at the end of the day, because you can fluctuate hours around.
Right,
If we're-
I was wondering what the percentage was. I think that's basically where we worked last year, was what percentage was wage going up, and then trying to use that percentage.
Correct.
Or just Google minimum wage.
Yeah, I don't like using that though, because at the end of the day, like, they're hourly people,
1635.
so,
Yes.
1655 is supposed to 16.
As of January 1st, it says 1635.
That's the minimum wage.
Yeah, it was.
It was 1569.
No, it wasn't.
No.
It says increase from 24 minimum wage of 1569.
Correct.
Okay, so that's a big jump.
It says 4.2%
Yeah.
increase, so I don't know if that's 2%.
And that is what we tried to give the board last year.
Yeah.
They were not happy. 4% increase. So, okay, so are we skipping the payroll or just going down to some of the other stuff?
so why would we skip payroll? I just curious.
No, you just said something about hourly. We would change hours.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that through, so, yeah, so, I mean, directors, we're gonna be at 58,656.
Right.
At least we're proposing to the directors, right? And then as far as assistant director, we are currently at 45,680. I don't know, do you wanna start as far as how much money our bottom line is gonna, I don't know how the approach is that the board wants to take, right? So the approach that I personally took, I think I just mentioned 3, right? So I took the most conservative approach, fiscally conservative approach, and the grand list went up by 1%. So our expenses should not go up more than 1%. If that's what what do you mean?
If only we worked out.
Oh, to keep it, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be difficult, I understand that.
Is not the tax revenue.
Well, our revenue went up 1.2%.
Yeah, okay.
I'm looking at.
Well,
So-
since last week, it isn't this year yet.
Well,
So,
government tends to trail.
so I'm wondering,
But it's the more, yeah.
I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Because no matter what happens in the revenue account, is that there's a certain amount we have to have in order to keep the lights on. And the
Correct.
entertainment. And then after that, there may be other things that we can add on. Or we can go to the Friends for more for programming or something. But I think we have to deal with the real serious pay and your utilities. So,
It's utilities.
well, I know the governor's upset about it too, the electric, everything. He was on today, we were talking about, so he's working on stuff, but that may take 4 years to change.
Well, so what I had put in is, where we are, I have for assistant director going up to 46,146. Assistant,
Can I ask you?
this is multiplying, so this is using the formula of 1% increase.
Oh, okay.
So 46,146 for assistant director. Assistant director, no, I'm sorry, assistant 1, I have at $13,101. Clerk 1, I have at $40,000. Like a slow one. 40,477.
And that's actually two. That's why that's in there.
Pages we're not doing currently. Custodian going up to 10,156.
10,156.
Assistant 2. We don't have. Deb, you can yell at me anytime. I see you.
I don't have any
Oh,
information, I'm just listening.
I can try. Assistant clerk 2, 11,529. Then there's a formula that the town has anyways, that is add all the salaries and times it by 0.0765. That's automatic. That was already in the worksheet that was submitted. So that number automatically gets generated to 13,750.
13,750.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get 13,775.
Why would you take that total?
Yep.
All those salaries
Sure.
and multiply by 0.75. You're
That's
gonna
Social
come
Security.
70%.
765. That's what the town does.
0.765.
That's what the town had in there.
I know, but what I'm saying is you have to add that amount to that 0.7 has to be added to the salaries. It's not subtracted from the salaries, right?
Well, no, that is what will come out of the salaries of Social Security and Medicare.
So that, and then the town already has that in the worksheet.
So what you're saying is that everybody that we're paying the salary to is getting down 0.7%.
Isn't that the way it works?
Well, no, I'm just wondering if
Versus what I actually make.
we're paying them a 1% increase, taking away 0.7 of that, they're getting 0.3.
I don't know what the tax laws are.
They took 17 out last year too. So what we had, they were not getting that full thing. Didn't you read a paycheck that was like 2/3 of what you actually made?
This is us paying, this is us paying.
Listen, what I'm saying is that we're giving them 0.3%.
No,
No,
we're
no,
not,
because-
they took the 0.7 out last year too.
Yeah.
That's Social Security and Medicare, that's something.
Yeah.
My understanding,
already
and-
taken off the
yeah,
top.
I don't know the tax laws. I always thought that the employer and employee, they each pay into the
Yes, we
system.
do.
So, yeah, you know, so,
And I just want to make
There's a lot
sure
that
Yeah.
have to
that
pay. That's
our
just-
our workers are getting a reasonable increase. That's
This
my,
is-
that's my
But they gave you a
concern.
flat 1% increase.
This is starting.
Social Security and
this is
Medicare,
starting.
Social Security and Medicare have always been taken out. So the 45,689 we had for Deb last year is not what she made in the paycheck. Because Social Security and Medicare and all that other crap was taken out.
Just like any job. And that's-
It is a crappy deal,
It is.
No,
but
no,
it's the
not that,
same
it's
crappy
just-
deal they've already
Yeah,
done.
everybody.
It's the same crappy deal every year.
So they're actually gonna take out more
Yes.
money in number of dollars.
Yeah, the more money
Same
you get, you
percent.
take out
Yep.
more.
Yep.
Yes,
Percent.
unfortunately.
Yep.
That's the way it works.
So I just make sure that we're paying them enough. That's my concern.
So employee, next line item is employee health insurance. It's been 4,000. Again, I'm just using simple mathematical equation.
Wait, it does say insurance, but maybe that's from the town. Doesn't say
Oh, yeah.
insurance.
Empl-
That's bothered me for a while.
They can't stop.
So I just put it 40/40. I mean, we can make 40.
What
just
was it, 4,040?
4,040. Yeah, just using 1%.
Or 40/40?
We can mess around with that,
That's a number that can, yeah, we're throwing numbers, it's just a starting point.
Yeah.
And then, so we have sick leave escrow, 505. And then, so right there, just to compare what we've been doing, what we're on pace for this year, those numbers, here, we're proposing. So we have what? It's $198,738.42. Currently, we are on pace for $152,000.
What?
So the numbers I just gave you, $198,031.42.
What line are we looking
Because
at?
I'm
That's
looking
just
at
below
198,745,
Oh, I see.
and I
See
didn't
it
put,
too, right?
I didn't put in anything beyond sick leave. So I'm gonna be way over. I've been putting Nick's numbers in,
Mhm,
the spreadsheet, and I only went up as far as sick leave escrow,
mhm.
and my total is current, 198,745.
198, $31.40.
Right, I'm over that by $700, and I've not filled in.
Maybe you put legal and professional fees?
No, the last thing I put in was sick leave. I didn't put anything in.
So I'm gonna read them quick again. 58,329.
Okay, 58,329 where?
Oh, shit, that should be.
That should be
No,
Yeah, that should be, yep,
58,656.
658.
658. Yep.
Okay.
That was just an announcement. All right, so 58,656. 46,146. Co-director, we're not doing. Assistant 1, 13,101.
Yep.
Clerk 1, 40,477.
Okay.
Pages 0. Custodian 10,156.
Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, 10,156.
That's what I have here.
I had the wrong line highlighted.
Maybe.
Zero.
Yeah, that was-
I'm gonna give you a page.
Oh, you want a number there?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna put it in.
I'm gonna put a number there later now.
Okay.
All right. So the custodian was in here.
No, I was down at the clerk 2 line. It was like, I've got 11,000.
Okay.
I had the wrong one.
All right. So custodian 10,156. Assistant 2 0. Clerk 2 11,529. Social spits it out at 13,775. Employee health insurance 4040. 0 505. We'll see.
You send me a copy of this one. And I'll send it back.
So 1,900, 198, 384.
Wow. Okay, we're dividing. Okay, what's after the sick leave? What is that for numbers?
That's so legal and professional fees. I put 707. Office supplies 3030.
Can I say you came up with 707?
We're just using 1%, just to start, just to
Oh,
throw.
that's what that, okay.
Yeah, all this is
Okay.
times by
Office
1%.
supplies 30, not 3,300.
I have 3030.
Okay, but last year it was 3,000.
So 1%.
So
1% would be $30.
Have it.
3,030.
3,030. I'm reading what he's saying is 330.
Oh, my apology. I was just grading the digits. Sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's my apology. Next here is professional development, $1,010. Staff hardware, 808.
Let's see where this is going.
Staff software, 2,222. Bank fees, 51. Processing fees, 30. That is a $2,805 increase, which is a 1.38% increase overall to that administration budget line.
What was that, 2008?
2,805 with a one
1,805. That's the total. you're saying.
2,000.
increase from last
Oh,
year,
increase.
which is 1.38%.
What was the payroll increase? Is that also,
I'm just not getting the numbers to match.
what's above the line? What was the increased percentage there?
So for the administration whole portion there,
Yeah,
it's a 1.38% increase.
no, not that, everything above the administration, the salaries. payroll.
Salary, we were using so we were using 1% other than the director, because we had to go
Oh,
higher
okay.
than that. on
Okay,
here.
so there's no flat rate
Yeah.
there. Okay, got it.
And then when it came to Medicare, it just automatically spits that number out because of the town calculation. So this year, 206,242. compared to last year, which is 203,437.
So, sorry, what was the bottom line again?
206,
comma,
525.
525, I'm saying 243, my numbers are
wait, 206,000, one more time,
206,242.
240.
Oh, 240, okay, that's not what I heard you say, that is what
I heard 525.
Yeah, well, that's what I heard him say, it was 525, and I have 243.
243, so it's 206, 243.
Yeah, 206,242. And the difference is $2,805.
Right.
Should have yelled at me. See that? I'm reading that one off.
So that's a 1.4% increase. overall.
Correct.
It has everything at 1% except the director's salary.
Just a starting
Yeah.
point for discussion, yes.
Just want to make sure my numbers match.
So I don't have any trash in here, we're gonna have to, so from a starting point, let's just start with 0, and then we're gonna have to realize where we're gonna take away from other areas to make up for that, so right now it's 0. Landscaping, 1010. Building maintenance, 7,575. Building repair, 2,525. Telephone, 1,818. Internet, 4,848. 48. Internet.
Cities,
Do you see it on yours?
I see it, I'm writing down what you're saying.
You see it on yours? No?
No.
I think I'm not
So
sure.
that might be on the older sheet from last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going down mine,
This is the new one I sent out.
yeah, I'm just amending it
Internet
as
is
we go.
what?
48. Security, 1508. Building custodial supplies, 1515.
It's pretty easy math.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all the way down,
Propane
85.
Yep.
I see that.
is a trick one. Electricity, 14,645. All right. Memorial project, 0. Miscellaneous, 303. So that brings the total to $44,332 with an increase of $439, approximately 1% increase there.
What was the total bottom line for building on
$44,332.
1,330.
And then the last category here, and just out of comparison, last year we were 43,893, which is that difference. All right, so last section here, community programs, $61, donations 0, library resources 0, books at ALG Trust 0, books $9,696, newspapers, magazines
12.
Yep. Easy. Audio, audios, DVD, CDs, 4318. Patron hardware 0. Patron software 395. Friends of library 0. Outside library resources 1336. Grants 0. So bottom line number $17 for programs, which is a $202 increase, approximately 1%. 1% increase from last year. So that's a total increase of total expense increase of total is $267,591 with a total increase of $3,446, which is a 1.29% increase, which is higher than what our revenues were for the town and higher than the grand list increase.
So sorry, what was the total? I was just doing some of that math.
267.
267,000.
591.
500.
591.
And it's Just over 1% total, you said.
1.29% increase.
I just think it's
Well, so,
reasonable, what you said.
yeah, so just to compare off of what we've done this year, right? Halfway through for our assistant director, we've done 22,845. And co-director, we spent 3,528. So between those two, 52,000, basically 52.7-ish. 52,745. So what we're tracking for our salaries is we're on pace for $152,233 when it comes to our payroll. Now, we've also not had a director. So,
Yeah, that makes it hard.
I have a problem with the fact that the number goes there first week.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tell you
I-
something, I have to tell you, read that.
But
Yeah.
I've noticed like
I know that's gonna affect the budget.
books, newspapers, magazines, audios and
I
CDs.
think you already did that,
have
Steve.
a lot of money in those categories, but we don't use all that money. So maybe we can
What money don't
take,
we use?
this is just my 2 cents.
Retro.
Okay,
The books, newspapers, and magazines, and audios and CDs, we have 96, 1,240, 4275, and we've only used like not even half of that much on those categories. So maybe
but if you look at the previous year,
We
the
also
line
didn't have the-
600, and we spent 8,700.
okay, I'm just looking
I'm
at
sorry.
one last.
Okay,
year.
so audios, in 2023, we spent $1,186.
Okay.
And we're on pace for, I mean, I don't know how you guys calculate, like, if you do half the expenditures, the first, if you do 374, are you gonna double that or not? I don't know how you guys track that on your end. Right now, we're tracking for $748 for this year. So between the 2 years, right now, we're on average of 967.
One of my questions that we might want to look at is we have grants for some books and things like that. We do not have a record, I think 6 months, I think it was hard to find those, a record of all of our grants and how much money is in there. And so we may be able to relieve part of this by using the grants or the interest on the grants, et cetera. That's might be a source for our books. Our lifeblood is our workers and our books and stuff. Those are the 2 categories that are very important. You gotta turn the heat down, let people wear stuff. You know what I mean, that kind of thing. There are other ways you can get away a little bit. If we really can't afford the heat, we may have to cut back on hours periodically or something like that.
So
But we need to keep up with our books.
So we budgeted 1,200 last year.
Yeah.
And it looks like in 23, we did 1,200 and then
This is
1,200, and then this year we did 1,200.
Books is 9,600.
Yeah,
Correct.
You're looking at the wrong line.
So I was talking about newspapers
I
earlier.
just want to make sure what it's like.
Yeah.
It says 0.
So are we on books or which one are we
I
on?
thought we were books.
Okay.
Okay, can we ask Deb?
That's actually less than what we used to have in that column.
So 96, 96.
Yeah, we had 15,000 in the books for a while. But
Yeah.
can you explain why so little has been spent on books, newspapers?
For this year?
For this year?
There's just not enough time in the day to spend the time to take care of such things like
Okay.
that. That's
I
pretty much
think
what it
we
is.
have here also the director issue.
Right.
You know, I have some complaints about the books. I tell Debbie I want more adult books and what I've seen, less children's books and things like that. That's not my decision to make. That's not, it's, Debbie told me that, I'm talking about you in front of you, told me that people request books. books, and she makes sure they get them, so that's really the bulk of it. Now that we have the director
Then
will
we'll start
come in.
ordering books that we like to have.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
gotten books that either involves around programming, people who request things. We know of certain authors who are prolific that we make sure that we keep up to date with those. But it's not, we haven't gotten to, oh, it'd be nice to have this, or this old nonfiction book is, outdated, get a new one. We haven't delved into those kinds of things because it would take time. So we kind of just skim the surface and get what not that we get away with, but
But in anticipation is,
Yeah.
that before the end of the fiscal year, 6 months from now, you will be spending that money.
no, yeah.
So if we're talking about just books itself, we're on pace to spend $9,262 this year. That's what we're on pace for, and we budgeted $9,600. Last year, we spent $8,721. So between this year and what we're supposed to average this year, that average is $8,992.
So you want to just drop it down to a flat 9,000 instead of 9,600?
I mean, that gives you money to put elsewhere.
I mean, Deb's right, when I started on the board, it was $15,000 for books. So it has been cut down while prices of books have gone up.
Right. But I think it would be helpful if Steve would too. Unless we
I
start-
sent him the agenda, I thought at least he could zoom in. And
Yeah,
I was
but-
looking up there and it doesn't
Yeah,
seem
I
like
know,
it's
we
waiting.
were-
So-
So, but are we seeing any shift to ebooks or electric library? That what is it called?
We have
Maybe?
those already, but they're.
I know my kids
not
love it.
costing us anything, because we go through things that are for free.
So that's an area where we are
We
saving
haven't-
that.
Yeah, we don't spend money on those.
Okay.
You could, but
Do we have to-
offer different places where you can still get it for free.
But do you have to pay, does the library have to pay for whatever book to be able to be in its electronic library? Because I know I've gone on and looked for a book for my kids and it wasn't in our library.
No, because, yeah.
Do we need to purchase that to be able to put in? And are we doing that? Are we expanding?
Unless you give us some money.
No, I understand.
Right now, no, because that was just one way we could save money.
Do we track how much that has increased that foot traffic to the Libby?
You could go to
increase.
other libraries and do that, but you could load in on the total pool because other people will want before you, they get.
Sure.
Just from their
But in our library, have we been able to see that metric that we're seeing 10% more usage of this app?
I don't think they track that.
I don't.
Well, we got to buy the books, of digital books.
No, I don't-
They're just
I've
giving
never
links to
done
free
that or heard-
sites.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Audios, DVDs, and CDs, 2 years ago was $42.75.
So did you want to put 9,000 in for the
No,
books?
not yet.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
Um,
Audio DVCs, okay.
It was $42.75 and we spent $2,600. Could we leave that at the $43.18 and include ebooks in that?
So
That'll give you some money to do it.
my 2 cents on that, so this year we're on track for $748 on that.
Part of it.
Last year, we spent $1,186 on audio, DVD, and CDs.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Since we're using a lot less than we budgeted for, can we use that money to purchase ebooks available for people from the library? Could we add ebooks to that line?
Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it'd be audio, DVD, CDs, and yeah. That's a great thing, like that would work.
Now, on our,
So would you want to advocate for keeping that at $42.75 or dropping that down to $3,000? Because last year, again, we only spent $1,186.
And I'm not sure how much ebooks cost, right? I don't.
But don't we just borrow from one line item for another one that's higher?
Yeah, but that's not
So-
how we should, we can, and we got, I guess, going forward, vote as a board to be able to shift that
Yeah,
money.
I guess what I'm saying is if the money wasn't spent, was it in fact spent somewhere else? Like even if it wasn't
A recording issue, maybe.
encumbered for,
I think one of the problems is the reason we're not spending money is because some people who do these things need it. Because everybody's doing this.
Correct.
yeah.
So if we got ebooks, we might be spending more to have people have access to ebooks. As opposed to what we've been spending.
We could do some research on how, what those go for or whatever, and what that looks like, if there's some kind of consortium going to get a deal or.
Steve's gotta know this stuff, right?
We never did it because
we'll
cost
order
something
up
else.
to this amount, and that's it for the year. You know, I mean, you can put a limit on that. But we've gotten in a lot of CDs recently, DVDs rather, a lot of them recently.
So, again, we're at 4275, what's the board feel? I think I had 4318, but I mean, I personally am willing to drop down even lower.
Well, that's,
Okay, I have a number from,
well, considering we only did 2,600, let's go for 4,000.
yeah, looking several years back, it was 2,600 that was spent.
Yeah, so if we go to 4,000, that gives us enough
For
money to buy
ebooks.
some ebooks.
Okay.
So, and then we can recoup a little bit of.
And
So you want to go down
Can you
to,
add the word ebooks or can make that change in that line?
um, I know when in reference what it is, just for discussion. Yeah, right, I mean, tomatoes, mine.
We'll look at this one.
I think that, when we handle the budget, we can add it now.
Yeah.
To the line.
And again, that's a point that, like, if we need to take a few $100s from later on in discussion, we still have that flexibility too.
And that's what we've done with the books, like the books line item before, is we've taken from it to put in other places.
And then we have the books that are the trust there.
Yeah.
Is that the one
That's-
book a year,
No, that's about about $400 that we get
a
a
year?
year.
Okay, so we
You're
need to
talking about
put
the ALG trust, that's restricted to what history.
400 in somehow, so we know
Okay.
that's it. I don't know, that comes in under our, what we get, what do you want to call it?
Revenue, yeah.
Revenue, that's the word. That 400, so we do have $400 that we can spend. Have we been spending it?
No.
That's my thing, is that,
Well,
and I wouldn't know how to code it either. Yeah, okay, so
We still have the 1,000 from Altrusa.
okay, so we do have it on our
that
revenue.
that was earmarked
Okay,
for,
okay, good,
right,
For what?
for books.
For books.
okay, so
Again,
then,
just hadn't had the chance to.
The ALG trust is books, but they have to be a specific kind, right? It's like children's books and history books.
No, that's changed,
Oh, okay.
kind of thing. Yes, and I haven't heard back as far as that change happened, because she's going to lawyer to do all that. Those was kind of not.
We can put that down on the revenues before.
So,
I guess, it's under there, Joyce, and it's under
Yeah,
there.
it's under revenue, I'm just asking, can it be before I get in there?
so newspapers and magazines, we've been tracking it, budgeting 1,200 for that.
Yeah.
This year, we're on track for 748. Last year, we spent 1186. The average is 967. I don't know
We
if
just
we're
got an invoice for one of them, which is like 300 and something, so it'll go up.
They're gonna jump.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't, I
So
don't want
keep
to
it at
screw around with
1,200?
those too much.
Okay.
Because that's what people are here for.
So maintain at 1,200 for,
Yeah, I would,
Now?
I
Okay.
would. And then if we don't need it all the time, we might need it for a birthday party or something.
What did you say?
A solace session down at the,
all right.
100 grants.
Um,
Oh, ALG trust for, got it.
Community programs, we've been $60. I'm not sure what that entitles, what is, why is it? So we've not spent any money for that line item this year, and last year we spent $70.
isn't that supposed to come from the grant?
I know, I'm looking at that, and that, that shouldn't have to be anything, actually.
So-
I
So
don't know how it got
zero,
to be $61 unless.
well, the $60 is.
No, but still, I don't know even where that would have been, if it's considered a program.
Yeah, I would
Should-
not-
And even this
yeah.
past year, we had gotten EDC, we've gotten the, some ARPA money where we did the birthday, so it's like, I don't know where it
So donations,
came from.
So are we taking the donations out then?
so I think what happened from last year,
That's all I need.
so donations last year, 2023, we didn't have any. But we had grants. This year, we don't have grants, but we have donations. So is this a reporting issue? Did we just switch? I don't
Can you
know.
say that again?
No, the donations were
For us giving,
for.
this is us giving,
For individual people giving, as opposed to.
not to the library. No, this is us spending money.
Yeah, this is this side, this is where we are putting our money, not coming in.
I think it may have been,
Okay, I'm on,
Go back up to the
I'm
other,
still in the expense section.
Yep, no,
Yeah,
that's where,
yeah, that's
that's where we're,
that's correct.
Yeah, so we got.
so it is, well,
But donations and grants are separate. Grants have.
so that's what I'm saying. This year, last year, we didn't do grants. In 2023, no grants. This year, we have 2,372. The difference is, this year, we haven't done any grants. So donations, 2023, we didn't do. 2024, we've been doing donations. In 2023, we did grants, and this year, we're not doing grants. They've swapped almost. Is there a reason why they're swapped? Is it a recording? Like, I'm not sure.
Well, this
What about
is,
when you?
I think the intention is that to be grants.
I think that's what Joe's complaining about, is we're not keeping good records on
Mhm.
the grants and donations and where.
that's what we need.
Where does things like this past year where like the Economic Development Commission and also the Aquaman, we received grant money. What, is that like under like revenue?
That would be
I don't know how that was taken, because I wasn't
I don't know where.
involved in the budget at that time.
okay.
So, okay, We- we were saying zero.
I don't know where that would have come from. I'd say put zero, because anything to do with the program, I can't think of something.
Well, we have to,
Right, but yeah,
that's probably in revenues.
And
Up top is the
61
revenues.
is an odd number. I don't know.
It was 60, it was just
It
probably.
was $60.
Because it's across the board.
I did 1%, but 23.
Oh, is that how you got the
Yeah.
61 number? I get you.
So right now for community program, 0.
Okay.
So I'm dropping the next line item under for what Donna sent to me is donations. It's probably should be tracking the same on yours, right?
Say what? The donation.
Donations is next, right?
That's
Yeah.
what we gave donations.
So this is us giving.
Oh, not under revenue.
No.
Grants.
what donations do we do?
So I think, again, this is where we swapped. I think it's meant to be grants, because that's what we did in 2023. And now we're recording it as donations. I don't know, should it be
Yeah, but
donations
again,
or grants?
if this section is us giving, we don't do grants. Like-
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Give
you
us
should
grants,
just cut
but-
these
and even
lines.
if we don't even do donations.
So going forward, well, we've been doing donations,
I'm
grant.
stuck.
Well, we haven't, let's see, did we budget? We
What
didn't
did we
budget,
do?
we didn't
No,
budget for
okay,
donations
now,
for grants, but we
when-
have been doing it.
We spend money when we get a grant, and we spend money on books or something.
Mhm.
I have to record it as grants.
So we're spending money to get that grant, are you
We're
saying?
spending that grant money.
Okay,
And so the number I put down is 904,100. Okay, and that's where, and it comes out of that pile of money that is our grants. Okay,
Do any of these grants have submission fees?
I have
that might be what it is.
and we have no good accounting of our grants, and this makes me
I don't know if
hurtful.
it's ever been part, I mean, it's on
But
the
it
spreadsheet
has
there,
to
I
be
don't know.
someplace, even if it's a
I don't think
different
it's ever
spreadsheet,
been.
we have to have that money.
For
And then we
revenue?
can say we've got money for, I don't know, lighting or something like that, or for special occasions.
This
We
is
know
Becca.
we can take it from, because now it's just coming out of that one thing.
So,
Yeah.
How much it was, how much we've spent.
So-
How much is there? Yes.
Whether it was earmarked.
Revenue, that means we got it.
okay, so in 23, 24, Becca, the previous treasurer, right, she was here up until what, November, I think I took over. We didn't have any recorded grant money for revenue. February, later on in that year, going into 24, we started getting we got two grant funds. So we had revenue. Did we have expenses yeah, we had expenses to do that. We actually spent more money than what we
Well,
got.
if we were given money for grant, that money was spoken for, you know,
Yes,
it wasn't just free money to use anywhere, it
it's
was
a
gonna
grant
be.
money.
It's allocated to
Balanced
something.
out, yeah, like.
But we're spending 2,700 for grants, but we're only getting back, Okay, so we're getting back 21,000.
I was gonna say, look at that,
Yeah.
21.5.
Yeah, so we spend 10% of, well,
Yeah.
okay. So this year we haven't spent any money on grants. So we're not anticipating any grants then.
Well, look, we have the one for, with the, IT that we had gotten, for, they gave us money, and now we'll put bills against it and use it up.
But no, that's not the thing, did applying for that grant cost you anything? Okay, if that did, then nothing should go in expenses, but the amount of the grant should go into revenue. So we need to know how much.
Yeah, that's on this
that was.
line here, when it's at 20,714, that was, isn't that grant money that came in? And that's where this, down here, this grants is taking out, okay?
So that's a fluid situation. So we would put zero then in theory.
Wash it out.
Now, my question is, why are we donating money?
Yeah, who was that too?
Because we've been having donations reported in 2024.
I never heard
And we've budgeted zero in the past, which I'm guessing we're still budgeting
I
zero.
don't even see donations.
that. You don't get Christmas
That's
gifts
on revenues.
Or at the very bottom of the expenses.
Okay, you're gonna add.
Can we just delete these line items? if
Oh,
they're
you don't
not
have to think
applicable?
about it.
Like,
They've been used up.
we might put an ad, like, you know, Lincoln Day, or like,
Oh.
we might, like, we don't really give money, we don't really donate money, but, you know, I think of things like that, with the PTA, I think we do something, I think there's maybe the $35 here, you know, 15 here.
Well,
You know,
we have.
We've done that kind of stuff that support the community when they've asked us to do advertising for ourselves.
We've both donated for the scholarship
Is that
fund.
for like the community
Did we?
programs then, instead of
Yeah.
donations?
Okay,
But what about the birthday party? Where did that come out of? The Friends or was
That
that?
was a grant.
that was a grant.
So that-
Gotten from.
Okay.
So they said, how much money do you have?
So basically, it's
So
a
we
scholarship
do
for
then
community
really
programs.
have.
So in terms of,
Because it's not really a donation.
donation.
More like, oh,
I know, but you have to have a line item you can put it into.
community programs.
No, that's not a
That's not the same thing,
community
community
Oh,
program.
programs,
The
are the
program.
teaching ones.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So donations is
That's
actually.
okay, just put it in
It's like,
Okay.
We'll just
Yeah,
be creative,
right.
we call donations.
Right.
When we give to other places in
Well,
town to
scholarship
help them out,
donation.
you know, like in the advertising. So.
And then that's even minimal, I mean, that's not a lot of money, you know, not as much as hundreds of dollars.
okay, so should we leave it at zero or should we put something? A couple of hundred?
So donations, we should put something?
Well, we do take
Well,
advantage
if
of
you
it
put it
today.
Well,
Like, where would we get, if nothing, but we should do that, where would we be taking it from? It would make sense that it would be there. Just sounds like an odd thing to call it donation.
Out of the newspapers and that, or out of one of these, we took a couple $100 out. We just put a couple $100.
Yeah, that was a new idea.
Because we made it 4,000, I think it was 40.
It's maybe different names, it's donation, it sounds like it iffy kind of a,
Yeah, it is.
is there something else
It
better
could be
than
fun.
I don't know. There's probably something that we can call, but I don't know.
No, I know you, I know, we would think about renaming that.
All right, so what are we doing for donation?
200.
And we'll just never go over it.
$100 to the scholarship fund, wasn't it? Okay, and how much does it cost us? when we
There's
do
a few, it might be willing today, it might be,
So much.
How much are they usually?
it's between 15 and $35.
$15 and $30.
I think we did like the flea market, like, it's not expensive, I wouldn't think more than 4, I can think of 3, I can't think of 4.
Let's do $200.
And that way, if you wanted to, so the scholarship community and whatever little advertising things.
Okay, so it's really important to have donations and advertisements.
Yeah.
As opposed to just straight donations like the scholarship.
Publicity, you know, that publicity, is that the right word?
Yeah.
But then with the doing that, Kathy, would the scholarship fit in with that?
No,
Well, no, that scholarship would still have to go in as a donation.
right, so we were just wondering if we could be.
So 200 on donations.
Yeah, that sounds.
Could we say
No, just-
donations at like town events or something? Oh, so we can keep track of that, I guess.
I think that'd
Yeah.
be more a conversation with the
Right.
town,
I know,
yeah,
I know, I'm just saying, for us, right?
for sure.
Could we
Yeah.
refer to it that way?
All right, library resources, we've done 0 in the past, it should probably stay 0. It's always been a 0 line item. Books at ALG.
Yeah.
It's always been 0.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a good point. Is there any way we could put down what kind of money we get every year? It stays the
But
same.
that's down in revenue, we're still in expenses. If we get $400 from ALG Trust every year and we spend it, shouldn't $400 go into both revenue and expenses?
You would think,
Well, it's,
you got things going.
all the revenue ends up in the expense. So what we do with that trust is put in the amount of money we're going to, we can put it in for 100 and then spend up to that.
Yeah, because it's listed as 400 for
You're
revenue.
getting
And
it.
I would think that if that is
Then you had
specifically
record
for
of it.
stuff, then we should put $400 in for
Yeah,
expenses.
it shouldn't be the 216, it should be the 400.
Right.
That-
So which one?
ALG
No, I
Trust.
was thinking that
And
ALG
we have the trust
trust.
says we get in $400.
That's in revenues though, we're in
No,
spend.
no, no. In revenues, it says we get $400 and then we spend that.
Okay, so we should
So
put
we should go
400?
back and get
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
expenses as well.
So patron hardware. We, looks like been doing 0, what did we budget?
That, Peter, that would be like spending computer, that's like computer stuff.
It's been 0.
That's, yeah,
Okay.
spend.
So we're maintaining that 0?
That's what it was.
Okay.
Well, we've got them coming in. Now, are we paying for, with grants for all the stuff we're doing now?
No, what is going on is that we lost hours there for money with TAB because we had them on board. Novus, it's a good thing they're on board. But unfortunately, with TAB piggybacking Novus, with doing all this stuff, to know what's going on, get used to our library and how it's going to work going forward. They were not included, pay wasn't included in it on the grant. So what Mr. Malt is going to do, we have to make up an invoice for the hours that we lost, that we'll get reimbursed for. And also, like when they come tomorrow, we said that they shouldn't be here more than 4 hours, so we'll tack on whatever hours in addition, so we don't lose them with our monthly contract. We're allowed 4 hours, we pay for 4 hours of IT time for whatever we need or want or whatever. And they took it the last time. And we're gonna make sure that we get that back plus get paid for this. So he's pretty sure that he will be able to get it for us. But it wasn't included originally. So right now, we may end up be like when we pay these things, like, well, no, we don't really, no, we wouldn't be in a deficit.
This was expensive.
Yeah,
Was that the one that was $500 for the
Yes.
first hour or something?
yes, yeah. So, but
Eat
he's,
my heart out.
he's pretty sure we can get it back. Normally, if it's not included in the grant, normally it should have been included
Yeah.
in the grant, but who knew, and now that they do, and it came out of our money, they're gonna try to get it back to us. He's
So-
pretty hopeful.
So patron hardware, we're staying at 0 or what?
For now, yes.
Okay. Patron software, we budgeted for this in the past, 1550 and 23, and then we went down to 391.
Because we didn't spend anywhere.
Okay. Yep. So, but we have not been spending any money. I don't know. We're at 391. I mean,
I would like to see something left there, only because now with Steve, being the director, he'll know about a lot of nice things that will be available to our patrons. Some of it, right now, everything's been free, again, to save money. But there are a lot of nice things out there, like Babbel, like learning languages or job searching. There's certain things that would really be nice to have if we have the money, he may want to look into that.
So in 23, we spent $116. We've come down. I mean, do we bring it down to 300? It's an area where we can use $91 elsewhere.
What do you want to bring down, 395 to?
391 down to 300. We used 116 in 23 and
Yeah,
haven't used
that
anything
seems
this year.
A safe cushion, but more than
But
enough.
again, Steve comes in a week, maybe he can find things.
Sure, this isn't agreed upon totally. Friends of Library, all right, Friends of Library, we don't budget anything. It's been an expense. I know there's been talk that we're supposed to basically balance it out with their revenues. We haven't been. I think that's more of an in-depth conversation for later on. But we've been budgeting zero. Do we maintain that zero?
Yeah, it was like the other thing to what Russia.
So both of it.
It is, no. Matter of fact, I was just at a meeting tonight and they're making out a check for all that good stuff.
So outside library, let's see,
Those are sad.
resources.
Those we can't mess with, those are sad.
So they were 1965 and then it came down to 1323. So it's been coming down.
What are the outside library resources?
Oh, that would be, and we get discounts like on our magazines, it would be like the American Library Association, it would be the Connecticut Library Association,
Okay,
it
the
would be
association.
their hierarchy.
Yeah.
And then
So-
you get lists belonging to their different groups who do get discounts and save money.
Okay, so in 23 we spent 1879. This year we're on pace for 2881. I don't know if that will really double, but
Can I say something,
Go ahead.
Rachel? Because when you talk about that, Hope and I one year did figure out if we were spending more money than what we were getting and saving, and what we were being offered and getting and saving way out, did what we had to pay to belong to.
So it's
We did check, we did check that out. We took on a time.
It says here that 1,440 has already been spent. Those are mostly payments, right? So
yeah, so I don't know if it will really
I don't
double.
think it's gonna double.
So, but do we maintain that still at that 13, what was it, 13?
36.
23? I got 13.
Oh,
Well, that,
Yeah,
I'm
we
looking
want
at your.
Oh, yeah. So just 1336.
And we're like pretty much to the penny with those kinds. We don't.
So 1336.
Yeah, I would keep it the same, and that's hoping that they'll go up.
Okay, 1336 is
You know exactly what we're getting for that money.
bad. 1336, bad. 1336 is what we budgeted, it's not what we paid. We paid 1440.
Oh, that's even worse. We need more money.
1440.
You're right. You're right.
Because we budgeted,
No, you're right.
actually went over $120.
And what does this entail? What is this?
It's bibliomation and
Oh, right.
belonging to the American.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Library Association, those dues.
So we did
So we exceeded our.
1879, and so far we did in 23, and 1441 this year. So do we go to 1500?
I would rather go up than down
Mhm.
personally.
Well, we have $91 we took from the patron
Right.
software.
Yeah, considering all the dues and things, those seem to be increasing. So if you don't need the increases, we can spend it the second half of the year.
Yeah, because what figures you guys are looking at right now, there isn't any kind of increase like you did up in the prior section, right? 'Cause you don't-
Well, yeah, no, these are the increases that I had proposed off that
Yeah,
1%,
61, okay.
which
So they'll have it.
right now we're going to be underneath that 17,000, it looks like. So, yeah, we're at 16,436. But that's depending on what we're going to do outside library. Are we going to 1,500,
Let me see that right now.
1336? We did 1441 this year, 1879 last year.
I think we have to, it's a good idea.
Right.
It's not,
1,500.
it's, that gives those organizations, some leeway. are probably gonna raise their amount because their costs are going up.
So that, we're under about $400 from what I had proposed. So we're at $16,600 with those figures.
Okay, that's not what I have. Can we go back?
You say it with a smile.
No, no. All right, so I have community at 0, donations 200, library resources 0, books ALG 400, books 900,
No,
9,000.
96, 96.
Did you drop it to 96, 96?
So last I knew we dropped, because we dropped to the 9,000. So are we at 96?
We dropped our books.
That's
What
what,
did- Because we were
remember.
gonna do ebooks. I thought
we did,
were
yeah, we did drop the books, right, in conversation or no?
No,
No, I didn't think so.
No, we were gonna
No,
increase, we were gonna count for ebooks, but not at the expense of,
Because
Hard
the ebooks
copy.
go into the CD.
So I thought, yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
thought books-
I think that's a bad call, personally.
Okay, because our ebook, our audio, where we're gonna put ebooks. So we put ebooks in books or in audio CDs?
It would be audio CDs, there's electronic books, so no.
So it wouldn't be coming out of the book section?
I
No.
wouldn't want to do that.
Okay.
I'm happy to go back to the 9600.
Same here.
This
Well, it
year,
was.
it's just-
So 96? Okay.
And that's what it was before.
So 17,200?
That's what I have.
Now I'm not smiling. All right, so we're in building areas, trash removal. So we're
I'll
on,
have to get your figures for
I
that.
think the trash is probably gonna be more than, we're on track for $814. But I think we started it later on in the fiscal year. So I don't know if you wanna put 1,000 there
I would-
as a starting point.
So not 10, but keep it
yeah,
1,000.
because we.
Oh, and trash.
Yeah, 1010 was just an automated number from.
So 1,000 even?
So landscaping, we've, I think, been budgeting 1,000? Yeah, 1,000.
But we haven't been using nearly that much.
So in '23, we will only use $64.
Right.
This year, we've used 680. If we double that, 1,360. So we're averaging between last year and this year on pace for 712 on that.
What that's all about is when we had a landscaper we had hired for.
I remember that, yep.
And that's exactly what we were being charged, that's what that's
The
what they
1,000.
said. What happened with, since she's left, it's been, Berkshire Bank came out and did something, like, we've been doing volunteer time and now doing it, so we've been
Gotcha, saving money.
Yeah, so we have been saving money there, but that was there as that, because that's what she was
And then
charging
we
us.
do get,
Now we try to,
yeah, we do get some people that come in, you know,
but it's nobody
and
to
it's
count on.
like
It's
minimum wage or something. So we need to have some money in there.
So can we drop it to 700? We've used 680 this year. We didn't use any last year.
750, so.
750?
If we do get somebody professional, it would be
Sure.
a lot more.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
At the 1,000, what's being done, because she was a patron and
So-
was a librarian from town, she gave us a great deal, so.
So
It would
750?
have to be maybe,
I mean, you're gonna have things that are gonna happen and you're going to need to pay somebody at least minimum wage to do it if there's cobblestones that have to be replaced or something, you know? So you can't get everything for free, unfortunately.
So building maintenance, we did 5842 in '23, and then we upped it to 7,500. This year, so this was a point of conversation last fiscal year of we need to shift our maintenance and our repair and how we're reporting, because in the past, I think we were reporting more so repairs as maintenance. And so, with that being said, there was something that, I don't know if you saw this letter. This was just, did you see the septic? This was given earlier.
So that would come under the maintenance.
That would be a maintenance
Yes,
item,
okay.
right? So
And
we're
the
looking,
Repair would be something you do once and that's done.
correct.
But, okay, with other places that have done, or what I know of other septic companies, what they have said, doing pumping every year should not be necessary. Usually it's
No,
every
depends.
2 or 3.
It all depends on how it's used, and if you wait too long, you have.
Now, do they come out? and check
That's a
every
lot
week?
twice yearly.
Well, we're not doing it twice a year, if you made it, we're
Twice a year, maintenance.
gonna come in the spring, usually around April, pump the tank and do a, inspection of what's listed on there. And then in the fall, we'll do another inspection, but we'll look at the tank also, if it needs to be pumped again, we'll let you know. It probably won't need to be pumped again, but we're just making sure that we don't end up with the same problem that we had before.
But with all the corrections you made, you shouldn't have the same
Right.
problem as before.
Right.
I just don't think we don't generate enough to have it even every year.
So what we've spent,
Or,
So we'll find that out after the next
Right.
pumping.
Correct.
so what we've spent, in 23 for repairs, I'm sorry, for maintenance in 23, we spent $64 in maintenance. I'm sorry, 4,632. Yeah, 4632 we've spent in maintenance in 23. And then right now, we've spent 1,393 pacing for 2,785. So you average those two out, we're on pace for 3,709 for maintenance. And we budgeted 7,500, which I think this number,
Still working.
well, shouldn't repair should be higher than our maintenance?
These three prices, next one, this is even not like a spring. This is a 4,295. And then it's 4,295. So all those three prices are gonna be
I
every year
don't, you know what,
on.
we can't rob from Peter to pay Paul at the end of the year if we end up with more maintenance than
Sure,
repairs,
that would be a
you know?
votable item,
You know
which
what
I
I
think,
mean, they're so interconnected, but,
but we
I think
were,
that we do have to be heavy on the repair end because we've got so many things going on.
yeah, if I had to see a number, I would like to see the heavier number on the repair side than the maintenance side.
Okay.
So do we want?
So instead of six, maybe swap them and maybe even go to 3,000 on the maintenance. We were what, 27?
Yeah,
We were 2,500 for repair. If we're swapping them, right, that'd be 2,500.
3,000 for maintenance and 7,500 for repair.
Well,
Is that what you're saying?
3,000 for maintenance, and then so this year, so 23, we didn't get any expenses for repairs. This year, we got hit with the 84, 30, 38 so far, but a lot of it was septic, right? If we're swapping, we're gonna have 7,500. I think maybe, I don't know if we're gonna have another $8,000 expense, right? I don't know if you wanna keep it at 7,500,
You mean like you?
or maybe
just
even
a
go down
lower
to
limit?
7,000 because we took 500, right? So instead of 75, we go to 7,000.
If it's safe enough, okay.
So, and again, that's a line item we can maybe exchange
yeah,
if we have to.
we're gonna end up, we may end up having to, I just, I hate to take any money away from repairs.
So combined with maintenance and repair, last year, we went up drastically from 23.
Yeah,
So we were 10,000 combined, right? If we're at 3 and 7, we're still at that 10,000, we just swapped the
We also asked a lot more and got rejected with it too.
because boy, we've just,
Because there's a lot of stuff they need to get done,
you
so.
know,
Sure.
today it's the
Even then, it
heating.
wasn't enough money minimum.
Yeah.
It was something,
So, all
we
right,
actually need more.
so. Okay, so now we're telephones. So telephones, we've done 2,000, it came down to 1,800, right? And so it's come down, you said it's gonna change, do you see that coming down, or?
No, you're talking, those are just your bills. We're talking about we need a whole new phone system.
So that would be something I would maybe throw into repair
Yeah.
almost.
Right, yeah, I put that.
The telephone, I look at the telephone as the service end of it. Maintaining, repairing, or something like that, it would fall,
Not
in-
getting new.
to me, that's like
You're not
repair,
getting- you're not
replace,
getting rid of.
a repair is like replacing something, you know, in this instance, yeah. To me, how I look at telephone is the actual, like electricity, you're paying for the propane, you're paying for that. Now, if you had you had to fix the propane tank, now that would be under repair.
So where,
So
so where would you put the new phone system?
I would put it under repair.
And we just went through repair? and
Yeah.
get the price?
We had 7,000.
Okay, knowing that, then maybe.
Do we know a
change
line
that.
item number thrown out for telephone?
Yeah, we have two different companies are
Okay.
supposed to be helping us do
Okay.
Again,
Well, it's a starting talking point at least, so,
it will go up.
but the service end of telephone service, right?
That's the bill.
We've been, in 23, we did 1946. I'll
So
take the
we've
hint
got
that my
telephones,
breath
we've got the
stinks.
cell phone, we've got our regular phone, we have,
So, and then we went down in 24. Well, we're on pace to go down, but we're right in that same ballpark. 1932, we were in 1947 last year. 1946, sorry.
1818.
and I think that's because we got a better deal with the cell phone.
So we're
Sorry,
averaging
down versus,
1939. So we probably should be at 2,000 flat
For telephone.
because we're,
Yep.
it is what it is, right?
Stephen, I don't have actual numbers, because you guys can do the calculation, and then we can either.
Telephone, 2,000
That's
even.
what we do, we gotta do.
All right. So internet is, so my computer will messed up on this section here. So internet, we budgeted, in 23, we budgeted 5,448, and then we went down to 4,800.
And we didn't have any IT people, now we have Tab.
And I don't have the expenses pulled up for this one. so-
Joan, that every month is 554. So if we look at.
Something like that,
550,
yeah.
So for your.
We've done 3,602.
60 times 12. I'll tell you what the bottom, what at least you should have.
Why did, we have 1197
Just under
left.
7,000.
I'm sorry?
If you do 560 times 12, it would be just under 7,000.
So, no, we better have at least 6,720.
For internet? No.
Yeah.
We have 4,800 for it.
Yeah, well, that's what
And
I'm-
we've paid 3,600, and we're on track for 72. Is that where you're, okay,
Okay, so
67.
we're in-
So this is a number that we're low on. Is internet cost gonna come down at all with with this whole new thing, or?
No.
That's fine, I'm just
We're
asking.
paying, with the internet, we're paying for the support of if something goes wrong, if we have, I don't know, from the OPAC computer, patrons' computers are, it's having that service of a company who will come and fix things. And make sure we're doing, even when it comes to our phones, when it comes time to get the new phone system, it'll all connected to our computers and whatever.
So we should be at 6,700,
There, yeah.
maybe
And that's,
68.
and that's with a minimum of 4 hours. If we ever needed it more, then that's a whole nother story. That's just
You have to
That's
pay
like
to use the cloud.
warranty.
Okay,
That
so
costs us $3.02 a month.
so we're gonna do 6,800, yeah,
68.
68, because we're at 67 and change?
Well, that could, $36, so no, that could go up too.
Is
So
it,
so
but it's always a
68.
good idea too, to pad our budget a little, so that we know we could pull back, right?
Yeah,
And
because I
then
know
show our
there could
decreases.
be times where they might spend more than 4 hours.
Okay.
I know
Right,
mine.
no, I'm saying for that
And
very
then we'll come
reason,
under
everything,
100.
we should be bumping up just a little, just in case, because we have room.
That's gonna be
Last year,
that's gonna be a big good thing when
last
we
year, what we submitted to POF was just over 4% increase in costs.
Right.
We're right now at about 4% on the same thing. So if we can keep it up there, then we are better in terms of what happens if it works. Okay.
All right.
I can't swallow. I think I just defeated her.
Oh, boy, that's.
So I'm going to go home and go to bed. Just email me any other changes you have. I apologize that I'm leaving. It's just this past month and a half or so has been terrible. I missed it. Yeah, I
Kathy's been sick too.
Yeah, I've not recovered my
You
voice.
haven't diagnosed. That's a long time.
with the doggies. So I apologize for leaving. You're not going to hear the end of that.
Oh, it's discussing teenagers I have to talk to all day.
So I have a library.
When we finish, you guys just stop like letting it automatically report to the cloud. Okay. So I'm
Take
sorry,
care.
guys, but yeah, this.
Understand?
How long do you think we're gonna keep going? Are we gonna go through all the bylaws of
And
this?
and you got plenty of time.
We won't get the bylaws. We're about
Okay,
50, I'd say a little bit more than 50% through the budget right now. So, all right, so from security standpoint, we've, make sure you don't look at the numbers, 'cause-
We've come down over the last couple of years.
So we've, so security, we budgeted 17 in 23, 1,700 in 23. We came down to 1,493, but we've been overspending.
Well,
So,
that's because there's been a lot of stuff going wrong with our security system.
so in 23, we spent 2327. And then this year, we so far spent 2982. I'm assuming that's not gonna double. But we're still, give or take, what's that, 52, 26? So we're right in that 2,600 range that we're spending on our security. And we've been budgeting 1,700. So, Deb, what do you think is happening in direction?
We're still not all fixed. We still don't have it working correctly.
So you think we're still gonna pace 2,500, give or
Well,
take?
I know if you find yourself over what was budgeted for this past year, it's because they've been out often to try to fix it and it's cost us a small
Who's
fortune.
been taking care of it?
The, oh gosh. Oh my gosh, I can't think of it.
Well, if they come out and they work and it doesn't work right, they should come back
Well,
out and
that's
not
where the new
charge us.
phone, no, because that's where the whole problem is. What's causing the issues is our phone system. It's not compatible. It's Otis.
Otis is the elevator.
Yeah, no, it's all
ADT.
together.
ADT.
Yeah, thank you. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, I'll try to, because I haven't looked at my calendar. I might have some
Issues with their
Physical
issues
therapy.
are old stuff that's not working.
Pretty had my physical therapy is until 3:30.
I'm being ready. I know, I'm not a brat.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the
I'll
ancient
talk
is
to you.
this. The only problem with
I don't get it.
I'm so sick and tired. Being sick and tired.
nothing, I'm trying to spend enough money to figure out what was wrong. That's exactly what was wrong. So I just.
But, you know, I
It's
guess the thing
outdated.
is that I feel like
Right.
if we're
Right.
spending money time after time, that we have to stop spending the money.
We did.
That's it, until we get the new phone system. But, you know, when people come out and if something doesn't work right, they should come back out and not charge us any more time. You know, I think that's what I'm concerned about, is all this one's out. No, they
I
come out
agree, and
twice.
I understand your concern, but
And
just
the
to
very
get
first
through
time out,
this
it
though, I
wasn't
mean,
as if-
what are we gonna budget though?
I think I budget the top.
So you wanna budget what we've been averaging, about 2,600?
I put in 2,700.
Again, this is a starting point.
Yeah, it is. It's just the fact that we are trying to get things straightened out in the building.
All right, custodial supplies, we've been 23, we spent 1,100. We're on pace for about 1,400 this year, and we budgeted 1,200. Then we went up to 1,500.
Do you want to come down to 1,500 then?
Uh,
Since we didn't.
We'll stay at 15, or maybe come down. Prices are gonna go up, right? So I would just keep it at 15 for now.
So not 15, but 1,500 even?
Yeah. Propane, we spent 7,000 in 23. We're on pace for 26. I think it would probably be more so on pace for 8,000-ish. I think it would be between,
Be part of the town bid?
we could be between
Did you ever
7,000
go
and
check
8,000.
for propane?
So 7,500, is
I
8,000 a better?
8,000.
So we had 8,500 last year.
So let's go for 8,000 if you like.
I would stay at 85.
You would?
Remember the, because the town. was
Energy
doing it.
prices
We
are
give
increasing.
them.
Well, drill, baby, drill. So we might get
There's a
some more.
drill baby drill takes 10 years to even begin to start. Number one. Number two, we are producing more propane, more energy now than we ever have
Do you know
before.
what yourself in?
Well, what have prices been sustained? What's the average? What do we, you know,
I don't know, but when things are, I don't know what the average in propane is, but I would just, I just think we need to not welch on this.
Well, when it comes to the propane, we really haven't had the choice because the town's the one that generates or tells us what we're gonna be paying, who we're gonna be paying with. Only once upon a time, the first year, Hope and I, maybe 2 years, got to pick and choose. But the town is the one who, like with our lawn care with mowing, we don't have a choice of who
Well,
does
you know,
So-
right
how
now,
much.
if
They
you've
do
got,
it.
you
And
got
that's
the
protein.
Republicans, you know, and
Okay,
anyway, you got, and they're going to go with what is the best price. So you may
We've had
have,
lower numbers under
Yeah.
Republican leadership.
so we might be able to
This is a draft, yeah.
begin to look for, providers
So-
again.
So,
I know I can say no.
so back in March, so February of 2020, we were 262. And then we tracked up $3. And then February of 2022, we spiked to 393. We went up. It has now been pretty much sustaining in that 380 to 390. It's been actually tracking down. We're right in I'm just talking about propane price per gallon.
Yep.
So.
How much are you paying?
So I'm looking at Connecticut residential price, what the state has been
Yeah.
tracking. We've been tracking right in that 375 to 380 area. So
Who gives us a program?
Yeah.
What's the company?
I wanna say, is there some like high grade or high?
Yes, we had.
this is residential propane
Yep.
I
price.
wanna say high grade is the company.
The more you buy, the lower the cost it goes.
Yeah,
We're
it's a resident,
averaging
yeah.
about 250, 220 down,
Okay.
roughly.
So,
But either way, it's showing, it's using one source, residential, right? It's still showing, if you put it at the commercial level, right, it's gonna track probably the same. If you stacked it, it would be $1 cheaper.
Yeah.
But it's still gonna show the same trend. And we've been trending the same for the last 4 years. So we may even come down a little because of change in administration. So I think I feel comfortable at 8,000. Because we're at 8,500 and we spent 7,000 last year. 23, we spent 7,000. And we're probably gonna spend close to 7,500 this year.
Oh my God, are we still on the same line item?
Yeah, I think it's an item that we can come down to 8,000.
Okay, that's what I had suggested, you know, so 85.
No, 8,000.
Okay.
Electric, we're blessed to be in Connecticut with our electric prices.
Yeah.
We went from 14,563 in 23, and we're on pace for 18,252 this year. That's almost $3,700 jump. We budgeted 14, and then we went to 14,500 last year. So we went up $500 last year from the previous year. And this is an item that we're gonna be over on, most likely. We were over in 23, and we're on pace to be over this year.
I think we need to
I know that.
up it 1,000 to 1,500.
I would be even considering 17,000
Okay,
realistically.
100.
17,000.
17,000.
We're on pace for 18,252.
so should we be saying 18,000?
You're welcome, yep.
Well, the previous year we spent 14,563.
I know, but
If we're already over.
I'm open for whatever, I'm
we're
open.
going over.
I think we should go over and then come back if we are asked
So
to.
do you want to go 18.5, 19? What do you want?
At least 18.
I go 18.5. I really feel that that's where I'm at.
Okay. I'm on board with that.
Unless
So
we
what
get
are
it
you
for
saying?
18.5 sounds like
18.5?
safer.
See, the issue is too, no matter what we turn in, they're going to say you have to cut
That's what I'm
back.
saying.
We can't help
And this
utilities.
is, propane is something that we really don't want to have to cut back.
No, you can't.
There's no getting around. This is one that's defensible too, because what are you gonna do? Everyone knows.
Well, right now we're a little bit higher than okay, let's just, so memorial projects, we've been budgeting 0 and it looks like we've been spending 0. So 0,
Miscellaneous.
miscellaneous, so we budgeted 0 in 23 and then we went up to 300 in this year. And 23, we spent almost 2,300, and this year we spent 329, we're on pace for 658, averaging between the two, 1,464. So I don't know, we had in 23, I don't know what we had miscellaneous that spiked so high. I don't know if it was just a recording issue or what, if people were just throwing in miscellaneous,
If
We
we
use that
have,
for a few different things.
but it's drastically down this year.
we just got a bill, and I don't know if I screwed it up or what. We just got a bill, we just got hit with a $40 late fee, plus it was not Debbie. It made us get it back down till we finally got that waived. But we do get late fees sometimes on bills. And once we get our new director in and the director's emails with the bills in it will be read more thoroughly and have more time, we might be able to bring some of them. But that's where some of our, all this little bitsy
Yeah,
things, the little bit of this, little bit of that.
Where it doesn't, there's not a line item to put some things.
Yeah.
We do use it.
So I mean, we just
I don't know
been
why-
too
why
low.
It varies.
We might be too
Here,
low.
because it depends on what, if they're maybe only once in a lifetime kind of a thing, or.
So we were 300, did we go up to 500?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You change
You know,
that.
it's something like, if it's Christmas and somebody wants to buy some, I don't know, candy canes for the kids or something, but it would
Sure.
come out of the program, it's gotta go
Other
someplace.
things, yeah.
So,
$4
just in comparison, so far where we're at, in 23, our approved budget for both these programs and building line item areas that we just went through, we were about 59, about 60,000 change. We're right now tracking at about 69,000, about 9,000 over, just as a heads up. So,
And that could be, do you think that that's pretty much because of your percentage, 1% or no?
no, this is just what we've been talking about. Off
Okay,
my,
so the last year it was what?
So between the building and the program sections, we were approximately, was that 59, so change, 60,000 and change.
Okay,
We're right now tracking about, we're basically 69,000.
that's right on.
No, we're 9,000 more.
That's 1%.
No, that's like 15%. My numbers, if we were with my numbers, using the 1%, we would be at 61,000. So we're 8,000 higher than what I initially proposed. So just food for thought for now. So right now, we're gonna get into
That was a
administration.
lot of stuff. That was where the building and the repairs and stuff was in that section. That was,
Didn't we just go over
Well, they-
administration?
yeah,
No, that was just building.
No,
We touched on
did-
administration and then
Yeah, we
we
did
hopped off.
administration.
yeah, that's.
We did the administration.
No, we have
We
not.
did the building and the program.
We threw my numbers out there for administration.
Okay.
That's the only administration we did. We didn't
Okay.
actually go into each, because then I stepped out and I said, should I go get debt? at that point?
Okay,
I
I'm
would
going
think
to
it
was right
recommend
before that,
that we
yeah.
resume this at the next meeting. Okay. I think we need to.
I think we should maybe power through until 9:30. Set a deadline at 9:30, 20 minutes.
Okay, that's it.
Is that a compromise?
Well, yeah, okay, we can do.
So, all right, so we'll start at the top. We have the director. Assistant director, all right, so director, we said 58,656 because of what's going on with the increase for that. Assistant director, we are currently at 45,689. My proposal increase is 46,146. That's using 1%. Again, remember, we're 9,000 over right now. So this is obviously Deb's gets impacted here. I don't know where we need to be. We can even skip that and go to the other ones and come back, or that might want to take a pay cut, I don't know. I'm
No, well, back to square one that I've always been doing around here.
joking. It was a bad joke. It was
No,
bad.
doing work with two jobs and getting paid for one. When you guys ended up taking away the programmer, getting it to Steve so you could give the director more money, he got the money, but I got the job. It's like, okay, back to square
Well,
one.
he is supposed to be doing the program.
Well, before there was a programmer, it was a director's job.
Can I
But then
ask-
again, it was only one person, and you know, it's like, to be one person, you really need two, which is why we get the co-directors. So it's gonna, I think it's gonna be, we'll just have to see how it plays out. I think it's gonna be catch 22, and not so sure it's gonna.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can I ask a quick question?
Mhm.
The 1% increase that Andrew had recommended earlier today,
Sure.
which is the figures that I have here.
Mhm.
Why are we doing the 1% increase? Because I know we're not doing a 1% increase, well, we're not doing a 1% increase for the director because he's gotta be here because of the minimum wage.
He explained right at the beginning, you missed it, but yeah. you wanna read it.
I'm sorry.
Why am I doing the 1%?
Yeah, where that number came from.
Yeah, so there was
versus
3
the
different
line.
approaches that I was looking at, and one of them was looking at the grand list increase. Our grand list increased 1%.
Yes.
Our revenues increased 1.2%. So the other thing that I looked at was, that was 1.2%. So I had the 1% and the 1.2% avenues. Then I also looked at what are we averaging, right? And then divide over the 23 and 24 and use those numbers. Those numbers I think were drastically higher. The two numbers I think were more fair and responsible were using either 1 or 1.2. This is an area that I do have concern of being low because it does impact human life. And not even the morale aspect, just the affordability to live. And these people are still on lower incomes per se on these. And while I don't believe being drastically high either, the town, I know this conversation, we're not part of the town. I don't know if we're at 2% or whatever the town should be at. I'm open to that compromise of going higher, 2% at and I think I've heard the town is at like 2.5%.
So there are people who work for them are getting a raise like that?
I think in their union contracts, it's like 2.5, I think we discussed last year, or something like that.
And it's gone up again this year?
Every year it should be going up, whatever they agreed
Well,
upon.
their contract is for usually multiple years.
Yeah,
Oh,
So,
okay, we didn't know that.
and in the contract, it will say 2.5 the
Yeah.
first year, 1% the
Well,
second,
since we
whatever.
are town employees.
But,
Well,
but I think that if the
I get
town
it.
employees are getting that, I think ours should.
Well, we are.
I respect
mean,
that
it's
there's an
not that
argument
Ours
there.
don't work any less.
No, I get it. I think we're definitely gonna have to take a sledgehammer to our other areas, building in the programs area,
Well, you know,
building area in
so far,
particular
if
is where
we're
we're challenged.
9,000 homes.
Yeah.
and we have $250,000 budget. That 9,000 is less than 4%. Okay, so that's not a big difference. Going up $9,000 on 250,000 is not. And if we go up another, what would it be, $12,000, that still isn't that big a deal.
So from looking at the town increased its revenue by 189,000 and change. That's how much more increase it had. We take about I think it was 1.2%, ironically. We use that much money, actually it was lower than that. It was, I want to say 0.0012. I can redo the calculation. Either way, using the portion of money that we use out of 21 million, that percent, whatever that percent is, and pulling out of the revenues that increase, I think should have been at like $2,800. Here it is right here. 2,951 is there, and then this one. All right, so 2,951, I believe. We should go up using their revenue source. How much more they went up?
Well, their budget for nobody's budget is done yet, and the mill rate for next year isn't set yet. So we
But tax
don't know-
revenue, the revenue though,
We don't know what the revenue is going to be.
it'd be we're trailing, we're gonna be trailing a year behind on that.
So what I'm saying is that I think that we're doing pretty well so far, and I don't want to take a sledgehammer to everything else. I think we cut pretty close here. And I would not vote to reduce anything at this point in time without good reason. Unless there's something we didn't know about and that, it's gonna come in, then we should do it, but.
So what kind of methodology, I can speak right, do we use though when we're calculating raises for outside of the director, because that percentage is gonna be different. But for assistant director and on, what kind of calculation do we base this off? 2%, 2.5, 1%?
Well,
What?
whatever the town's getting them.
Well, there's different arguments. And to me, I'm at 2%. I know there's an argument out there of whatever the town is, right? Now the counter is, well, they're union, but they're union, right? That could be another argument to that though.
That's,
I hate
I would
this.
rather see us going with what they're getting and then have that argument come up as far as if they want us to cut.
Not even, that's
You know,
the point.
Like, well, we could say, well, why not? And then they'll have to do some.
Yeah, I mean, that's-
You don't get the same benefits probably as they do.
You know, I don't know if I get more,
That's what I'm saying.
plus they're getting more paid per hour.
Well, it's getting more benefits doesn't mean you should get more money,
No, but that
getting
means they're
more
getting more.
benefits.
The
still
value
get
of what
less.
they're getting.
But isn't,
okay? I mean, you're.
The unions,
not based on your
I know, but the
value.
unions are gonna, they're gonna
You know,
fight.
there's a lot of different ways of looking at it. Unions, I think, are valuable for some people, not for others.
But either way though, how do we approach, how does the board want to
I
approach this
think
percentage?
going at 2.5%
I think it's
that the town is
Right.
getting.
I think it's totally defensible. I can't imagine how they could ask that to be cut. The pushback is,
and
That's
essentially
fair.
saying, plus they get other, more better benefits than us because of union,
Well, the,
and that seems reasonable.
well,
I think it's an argument for us giving even bigger raises because our benefits are stronger.
but from a fiscally conservative person, argue though, could say, well, then cut a position, right? And I know that
No,
And
we
we did last
necessarily
year.
can't, I'm just saying the other side, right?
The issue
I'm not saying I
is,
agree or
you
not.
can't just cut a position. You can't cut a position because somebody else has to pick up the slack on that work, or the work doesn't get.
Sure.
We already lost people, we lost a co-director, we lost a programmer, we lost our
And
page.
so, we see that all the time in the schools. Well, just cut a teacher.
It was.
Well, yes, no, you're not cutting the teacher, you're cutting the kid learning time. Yeah. You're cutting the kid value, the value of what the child gets next. So that's really what you're cutting. I would go with the 2.5%, and then finish our budget and take a look at it and see what happens. I think Kathy says that's defensible. That's only fair. It's not like our gals are sitting here on their duffs doing
And
nothing.
plus, it is, I don't know how it plays into, I pay the raise on their part, okay, is one thing, but also you do have a substantial raise on minimum wage, where if you were to have somebody come in on minimum wage, which I do want to have a page, then you have minimum wage person, page making too close money to what the person above them is. We wanted to try to keep that same,
Stacked.
yes, distance between one another, so that somebody walking the door gets more
Pay
paid than
levels,
the
yeah.
person that's been here for 10 years. You know,
Okay, so using this
so
here,
you could always say that.
so. let's start. All right, so for assistant director, using that 1.2, using a 2.5% increase, Z6, nope. it's not correct. So I have assistant director using last year's number, going up 2.5%, $47,392.93. Please cross-check it.
Say that number again and what it represents.
So going up 2.5% off of 23-year salary, going off of 25 salary, of 45,689, going up 2.5%,
Oh, I see, right, yeah. It's like 47,000.
$47,392.93.
Why don't we just round that up to 393?
I'm not cool with that. Debbie, you cool with that? So,
You know, one year I got a raise and I actually made $6 or $9 less every paycheck than because I got into a different price rack.
Yeah.
Price
No
rack.
money
Isn't
to
that
make
great
more
to take
tax.
out? It's like, you can't be serious, that was a waste of time.
co-directors, we're not doing. Assistant one. Assistant one here, we have on the books, right? So. I have 10,000, so using the 24 numbers, going up 2.5%, I have $10,462.17. Keep it at 62, 63,
What would it be?
$10,462.18. So 62, 63,
Yeah, they do like comedians.
I'll go 63.
So this is now assistant one.
Assistant one, 10,463.
I gotta say it again. 13th.
So using 12,000, so they were
Yeah.
12,971.
Yeah. But what's the ending number? That you could, like, weird.
Yeah. There we go, much better. $13,295.28. We going 96, round up that 28 cents of $96.
I wouldn't.
No, yes or no?
I'd round down.
Round down,
13,295.
we in agreement?
That's the assistant one.
Assistant one,
Got it.
13,295. All right. Clerk one. Clerk one on the books right now is $40,076.
So the new number at 2.5 will be, that's divided across two people.
So I have $41,078, right? In agreement?
Page,
4178. Page,
okay, I'm willing to negotiate.
okay?
I want a page back. I need an extra body, which was always the case to begin with, from all the ones that we did. I ideally, if I could have some for 12 hours, but then you're talking, that's 10,000. And then I've got 9 hours, we're talking 7,600. Then I'll tell you, I'll go as low as hiring somebody for 6 hours. That would give me either someone for 2 days at 3 hours a shift, or 1 full day at 6 hours a shift. And if anybody were to say, be out sick, need a vacation time, she could work for, or he could work for that person, and we don't have to raise her money because it'll come out of the other person's line item. In other words, say if clerk one was out sick and whatever, the page would work her hours to cover for her. And actually, you don't lose any money because the clerk makes more money than the page. The page is the lowest paying job because it's minimum wage. But I'd like to have, everybody would make more money than the
Don't they
page.
get- Does everybody get paid sick time?
And no, we have none, no.
Okay, that's what I didn't know.
No. So it wouldn't cost us any more money having a page on if we want to just say, okay, let's give her, I'm sorry, that's on my mind, 6 hours. And she could do like per diem, like if somebody for whatever reason, and she could cover, and the money is there. So it's not costing us more money. Actually, we save more money because again, she gets paid less than whoever she would cover for is gonna make more. So if you were to put down 6 hours, so I figured it out at, you would do, it's $16.29 for minimum wage, I believe, the new one is.
16:35.
Oh, hold it, then that's
I
different.
think it's
16.35,
think
Joy?
so.
16.35? Okay, it is. Okay, so if we were to take the 16.35 times 6 hours a week times 52 weeks, we're talking $5,101.20. Okay? 1,500.
We're already going up so much, I mean, we can put that in there and then come back to this.
Oh, I was gonna say, we can put it in here,
See what happens?
and, you know, if the
I agree.
administration or let's say the salaries are point with the Board of Finance, we can perhaps remove it and it'll be no worse.
Or maybe just go down to 3, what shift? I
You
get a
know,
shift,
the
I'm gonna get her
bottom
on
line is you have to
payroll.
have enough hours, and enough pay to make it attractive for anybody to apply.
I think you
No,
have
I'm
somebody.
good. Yes, and I'm okay with that.
I think she's
because
approaching it with something.
I need a body for coverage, yes, could I put her on at any shift in time? Yes. And so we could even do 3 hours, but she would be available for coverage.
She can understand she might
She's
go
someone
2
who
weeks
could be
without
available
work.
Morning, afternoon, or night, so.
Is it something where she would go 2 weeks without so she can build up those hours and then use them
Sure, we could.
without going over overtime?
We could figure out scheduling like that. We could make it work. It's just having that extra body here for.
But you have to have enough
Emergency.
to offer.
So you're looking at it as
She
not,
would be, it would be okay.
a floater, it's not
Yes,
necessarily
like-
a cost to us. It would just be swapping out somebody's out on the day,
Exactly.
which they would be getting paid anyways, they would just swap.
Exactly.
I get what you're
But-
saying on
I
the.
thought you said you wanted somebody to be in for like 6 hours.
Well, I'm thinking because that's a whole shift. Either, most of our shifts are like 3 hours or 6 hour shifts for how we're open.
It's only for covering,
It's, yes,
only for covering.
exactly.
She's not gonna work other than when she covers.
That-
Well, that's just it. We
right.
could have it, to put her on the books, you have to put
be
something.
6,100.
You have to put her down for some hours. And 3 would be
Sure.
as far as we're concerned, is
So, but you
less
would need
shift.
her every week for 3 hours?
We could, yeah.
Only to cover,
To
only
cover.
to cover.
Or to have a day that, to give her one day every week.
If she's
regardless of what
only
it
gonna
looks
be
like.
coming in to cover, isn't she already
No, not
covered
just
under these?
Well, that's what you said.
Because what you're saying is you want her in every week for 3 to
3
6
hours.
hours. What you're saying is just this lady coming in, or person, I don't know, who-
I agree
Coming
with your
in
approach.
and covering somebody else who's already getting paid, say $10 an hour, and then this person's getting paid $8 an hour, so we're saving $2, so it's not costing us. But the way you're presenting it, it is gonna cost us. That's where I'm getting confused.
She could be hired.
It'll cost you
and
3 hours. It'll cost you.
So it is gonna cost. us.
It'll cost you $1,500 for 3 hours. No, we said 6 hours. 3 hours.
But we don't
$5,100
need,
for
we
6
don't
hours.
need to.
I
No,
think
it would be
We need to, personally, I think Debbie has a point.
So there's 2 ways we
I
can
3
prove it.
times.
I would approve, vote for the 5,100 and put it in. And if that is something that would have to drop out later,
Change.
so be
It's
it.
worth trying.
But we need somebody on a constant basis, that many hours
With 6
to
hours.
get
That's
that
only
job
30 that one
done.
person.
We need somebody to
Have on the
do
schedule.
the paid
3 hours.
work. She's not just gonna be a babysitter.
I thought you said 6 hours was 51.
Well, I'm saying 6 would be ideal. I'm willing to,
You can accomplish this without increasing.
in other words, if they say, okay, you have to cut, I'd say, okay, then we could go down to 3. Because our shifts are 3-hour shifts and 6-hour shifts.
But Deb, what you're asking for, you can accomplish without increasing money, Deb. She could
How
just be,
so? I
she
need a
could just be on the
person.
books. Yeah, but if somebody doesn't show up, they're not getting paid, and she just backfill.
Right,
Well, that's, yeah,
that's why it's
So
not
she can just,
costing.
she could be hired, right now, she just wouldn't work unless somebody is
She'd be
out.
on call.
You don't
Would I
need,
should
I
allow that? That's something that's, you can do
I
that.
think
I
they're
don't know how
only
you can do that.
Her
permanent
only
to be
job,
coming in every week.
the employee would have to be willing to be that type of floater. I mean, I'm fine with somebody being hired to do that. I
To be
mean,
on
that's a
call, yeah.
unique
Oh, I
person.
didn't know that was, okay.
I personally would be open to that. I'm not saying everybody else would be, but if, again, it
So
takes
you
a
would put it
special
like-
situation for an employee to be like, yeah, I'm cool with that. And
She's on
not a
call.
lot of people
So-
do that.
She's sort of like a substitute teacher. Well, yeah, like a substitute teacher.
Basically, that's what it
You're
is.
on
I just
call.
thought I had to get her, on the books, she gotta be on the budget, but I know what you're saying now,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
Because
as long as
that
that
person
we could
not
hire her.
working wouldn't be being paid, she would get paid.
be-
but she would only be working when, say, Hope's not here, Jen's not here, Kathy's not here, taking in for their spots. They're not
Correct.
gonna be coming in every Monday from 9 to 12.
Strictly
She's
only
only
filling.
on call. That way it won't cost us anything.
Yeah, there would be no increase in cost.
Mm.
And I would be fine with that.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
and I talked
okay.
about that, but I was thinking differently.
So we are not gonna do
I'm not on board, but I mean, I'm one voice, so.
I mean, I would prefer to do it that way.
You can
Because
accomplish
we're
your mission.
already going up in all these other areas.
You can accomplish your mission.
Yeah, why don't you find out, Deb, if that'll fly with her, and if it will, then great, if it's not, then we can always
Because I just, I
come
need
back to
another
it. This isn't going in tomorrow.
person. Yeah, because that's what Steve and I have to go do.
Does Steve know about your proposal? Have you brought this up with Steve?
I
Having a
have
floater?
an issue
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
with writing a job description for a specific person. I would rather write a job description for a job. And if the job is being a page, whatever a page normally does in a library, should be in our job description. And then the job description, there is and anything else, that they can add. And that would be the times when people have to be out for illness or, legal things or something. I'm not sure, do we have somebody out every week for 6 hours? Do we have 6 weeks of, 6 hours of absences every week?
we,
We could. I'm just kidding.
no, it's like,
You can accumulate those hours too, say if we
we
don't.
work when we're sick, we work when we're hurt, we work, we work when, because there isn't
You
anybody.
might push
Well,
through a
no,
little bit
I
extra.
I don't
I
think it
think
would
we
be
should-
every week that,
I'm in
but
favor of hiring the person, but I want to put the $5,100 in. And I want, so we know that we have this person, and the person can be doing other things as well as.
oh, she would be sitting around doing nothing, we definitely.
Well, because she would only be doing something when somebody else is out.
Could we
She
table
wouldn't be
this
in it all
discussion?
when anybody.
That's why I thought 3 hours or 6.
That's why I think that having somebody in 6 hours a week.
Yeah, I'm torn, because I get both sides, I'm torn.
Yeah, so I would put it in, and as I said, it might be the sacrificial lamb, in case of a budget issue, and we would have to go on to game plan B.
I think that would be the better approach, though.
And I would like to make a motion that we adjourn and come back to this concept and introduce it to others as well. I'm just getting too tired to even think about rational.
Can we do
Plans
anything
at this
before
point.
that? Karen asked me to say when we have the board concerns, we need to go over a schedule for our meetings. She's supposed to give it to her
Right.
last week or something. She wants to know if we are still gonna have the meetings on the same day at the same time, and either one or twice a month.
I think we need it twice.
And go status quo of what we did last
Yeah,
year.
it's the same.
Yeah, and then,
Is there any objection?
no, no problem for me. And then if we don't need them.
So
Okay, sure.
first and third Wednesdays.
No, not for-
No, second and
Second and
fourth.
fourth. See what I mean? I need to go to sleep.
Sorry. Second and fourth.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Wednesdays at 7.
That's fine.
Okay.
Well, the past 9:30.
Anybody present to speak? Do you guys gotta do that and also adjourn?
I think just real quick, that Ally shouldn't be with us anymore, right? She's expired,
Yep.
and I'm not sure if going forward I'd be on board for
No, I think we've
further
gotten what
expenses.
we needed.
So that's all I had.
Yeah, I think we've gotten what we needed. And we know that if we get into trouble, we can always, call back if we need to, but at this point. Today is January 8th. Baby's due tomorrow.
Oh my God, this comes fast.
Isn't that something? Her name is Kimira.
Little boy and little girl now.
Thank you.
Who's gonna take this for, is this a dude, the
Vice
boatman, or
President.
them to think about, or?
All right, Vice President takes that.
Vice Chair. Thank you.
And whatever you wanna get me any of that kind of good paperwork, or?
I can email you what I have. It's a little ugly right
That's
now,
all.
but if you want it in the meantime,
So you guys are gonna,
Thank you.
we got a lot of cuts.
yeah, I would like to.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for doing that. Now we know what
Oh,
I'm.
you're gonna, oh, you stopped.